Aging sucks, right? Because the older you are, the harder it is to run faster. Actually, not really. All you need is to train smarter. You see, when it comes to running faster, no matter what age, you need to consider 3 elements. The first element is your aerobic capacity, training your heart and lungs for endurance. The second part is running economy, such as an efficient running technique. Number 3 is training consistency. In other words, training season after season without a major disruption, such as a serious injury, so you can compound the effects. This is where training smarter plays a critical role, and because you Run Smarter scholars deserve more, I'll tag on a 4th element at the end, which will have you breaking records in 8 to 12 weeks. Let's get started with your aerobic capacity. It's clear if you want to run faster than ever before, you need to maintain a high training volume. Prioritizing your training volume has been shown to preserve a lot of your maximum aerobic capacity, also known as your VO2 max. For example, these former elite runners maintained most of their VO2 max from their 30s into their 50s by maintaining 6 training days at 70 kilometers per week or 44 miles per week. Compare this to those who still ran, but with a reduced mileage across those 2 decades, and those who stopped altogether. Maintaining high running volumes doesn't have to consist entirely of running. You can also consider doing other options like cross-training, fitness classes, and even hikes with the family. The second important element Masters runners must include are short, intense running sessions. This will do wonders for your heart and lungs, but also helps develop your running economy. This is where training smarter can swing in your favor compared to your former self, because evidence suggests that unlike VO2 max, your running economy is not negatively influenced by aging. But as the decades roll on, we seem to be content with running slower. This slowly deteriorates our running potential by decreasing our tendon stiffness and our overall leg stiffness, which is crucial for good running economy. And you can imagine these negative effects can compound over time. For instance, running slower leads to decreased calf muscle mass, which reduces your push-off power, contributing to a slower speed, and the cycle continues. Another thing older runners do is find softer running surfaces, thinking that this will be safer for their joints. But this actually accelerates the deconditioning process. In fact, research suggests that asphalt running reduces the risk of developing an Achilles injury by 53% in Masters runners. This is because pushing off a firm surface will increase calf activation and therefore preserve your strength. So to reverse this downward spiral, here is what you need. Once a week after a short, easy run, commit to 6 to 8 strides of 30 seconds, accelerating for 15 seconds, then holding your top speed for 8 to 10 seconds before having a 5-second deceleration phase. Progress this every 2 to 3 weeks by upping your top speed or gradually transitioning into hill strides. In addition to strides, once every 1 to 2 weeks, commit to a speed workout of short, fast intervals. For example, you might want to try 10 rounds of 60-second efforts close to your maximal effort with a 2-minute recovery jog in between. However, you don't want to risk an overuse injury, so find a level of intensity that suits your abilities and gradually progress from there. Eventually, this will supercharge your aerobic fitness, restore the stiffness back into your tendons, and reverse the deconditioning spiral you find yourself in. Now, since we're introducing tough workouts, it's important to remind you that the older we get, the longer it takes our bodies to recover. Research has shown that older athletes need longer after workouts for tendons to recover and adapt, also known as collagen synthesis. In other words, we can't train hard most days of the week like our former selves. But remember, we're outperforming those idiots by training smarter. And recovery doesn't necessarily mean complete rest. Remember, we still want to maintain a high weekly mileage. So, carefully place your easy recovery runs, rest days, and light cross-training days around those harder and longer workouts to find the right balance between load and recovery. Once these components are dialed in correctly, you'll avoid the boom-bust injury cycle and maintain consistency while enhancing your economy and preserving aerobic capacity. By the way, the paper I'm referring to was published by my favorite US researcher of all time, Dr. Rich Willey. I'll include the paper in the description along with my conversation with Rich on the Run Smarter podcast, which was a fascinating conversation about the glute activation myths. If you've ever been told that your glutes aren't activating properly, listening to that episode is a must. Next up is my secret sauce to running faster than ever before, and that is doing the right type of strength training. This includes the exact exercises, sets, reps, and weights that restore the power and stiffness an aging runner desperately needs. And before you go away and start doing glute bridges and bodyweight calf raises, the evidence clearly shows that you should aim for slow, heavy resistance training. Try 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps 2 to 3 times per week. And since this topic heavily focuses on calf and Achilles strength, my favorite go-to exercise is the double leg bent knee calf raise. Don't worry, I'll give you some guidance on other exercises at the end. For the calf raises, start with a weight within your capabilities and try to avoid straightening your knees at the top or looking like Michael Jackson and calf raising without an upward momentum. Once you're comfortable with the technique, stack on enough weight for it to be really challenging at the 6 to 8 rep range, and then you can complete your 3 to 4 sets. You can then do these strength workouts on your speed days, separated by a few hours if possible. My preference is to do your run in the morning and your strength in the afternoon. If you're looking to add more strength exercises into your routine, don't fall into the trap of overcomplicating things. And like I mentioned before, you won't reap the same reward by just doing bodyweight exercises. In fact, I have a video here that explains all that because, as you will soon learn, all you need if you want to run faster is 4 exercises. I'll see you there.